YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, and Twitch. My name is Patrick. I work at the aquarium here in social media. I am joined by my colleague extraordinaire, Emily. Emily is... Hey, good morning, Emily. Emily is on the... Oh, here we go. We got the feeding happening right here. She is on the camera right now, and we are live right now on top of the Open Sea exhibit for a very special feeding here. This is the last week of National Seafood Month. Hope you folks can hear me now on the other side of the stream. Let me know. Let's see. Let me know if you folks can hear us a little bit better now. We are live on top of the Open Sea exhibit, everybody. We are throwing in 20 plus pounds of seafood here right now into the open sea, and I'm going to see if we can see this here from the front side, and I'm going to be here on camera momentarily. Here we go, transitioning away. Here we go. This is the live webcam you should be able to see there. That's the front of the scenes, and then here's me topside, everybody, joining you folks there. So let me see. I'm just going to remove myself real quick. We can watch a little bit of the feeding from there, and then we're gonna go, let's see, back here to the top of the Open Sea exhibit. Now, Emily, tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here. We've got Anne on the catwalk, and she is throwing in the food here for the Open Sea feeding. This happens once a day at 11 a.m. What's happening here in front of us?
Yeah, so we got Anne out there. She's one of our phenomenal aquarists. She's one of the people who helps take care of so many different animals here at the aquarium. That happens to include the wonderful fish like that Dorado that you see swimming right in front of the screen right now. Those are those really long, kind of slender fish with that boomerang-shaped tail. We've got quite a few of them here in our Open Sea exhibit. These are big, fast fish. They eat a lot of food. They live out there in some of those warmer waters, and of course, being cold-blooded fish, those warmer waters means that you have a higher metabolism. You're going to be eating a lot of food. So like you said, Patrick, we got Anne. She's tossing out big handfuls of sustainably caught seafood for all of the fish in here. That includes those Dorado. They're eating a lot of squid right now. And then once we're done feeding squid, we'll have some chopped up fish in there. We had some vitamins right at the beginning of the feeding as well. So all this food, that's what you see her taking big handfuls out of those big buckets right now and tossing it out, kind of broadcasting it out at the surface of the water.
Fantastic. And what's also happening, Emily, to our left and to our right, we can't quite see it here, but we're also feeding the ocean sunfish in the back, and we've also got some pelagic stingrays and sharks being fed over there. There you go. Emily is zooming in there. Hero cam right now, getting over there into the corner. Oh, there we go. We got, decided to focus on the 16. There we go. Yeah, so we are topside. This is live right now, everybody. So this is something that you don't actually see during the feeding if you are in front of the exhibit window, is that we've got the pelagic stingrays over there. They're actually flipped upside down right now, grabbing their meal directly from the staff. Those are trained stingrays that come over to the edge to grab a meal directly from the staff. This training of the animals is crucial for their health here at the aquarium to make sure that everyone is getting enough food. And I'm going to transition us back here over to that webcam view. If you folks are live on the webcam, that is what you're seeing there. And thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in from all around the world. You folks are doing great. We've got Lucas in Tucson. We've got Susie Scott in Washington.
Hi,
Karen
Lucas.
Karen from Wisconsin. Yeah. We've got Kathy from Texas. Oh, and the question here from L Gaines on YouTube. Oh, and we got Cassie joining from Mbari. Emily, what kind of sharks do we have here in the Open Sea exhibit?
Excellent question. So we have 3 scalloped hammerhead sharks. All of them are girls. And they were all from Hawaii originally. So they're still juvenile hammerhead sharks that we have living in here. But we get to study those animals up close and learn a little bit more about them when they're here inside of our Open Sea exhibit. And that's exactly what they're doing by doing some of those hand feedings of those fish. We can see exactly how much they're growing based on how much they're eating. You know, things like that kind of help us understand more, a little bit more about some of those more mysterious animals like hammerhead sharks out there in the ocean.
Exactly. Now I'm doing a little bit of trickery over here on the stream. I'm going to see if I can get, the little webcam picture in picture so you can see the front of the exhibit at the same time as you are seeing us here behind the scenes. There we go, looking good. So that little picture in picture there, that is the view from that huge window, which we are directly on top of right now, filming and throwing in that restaurant quality sustainable seafood. I want to say hi to Rody87 on Periscope. Hello, Lady Grey Fox over there as well. Salut Abdul. We've got some folks tuning in from France. Those Dorado are huge, folks are saying.
Sorry for the weird camera work there. I was trying to zoom in a little bit. That kind of grayish blob that you see towards the back of the screen right now is our ocean sunfish, the mola mola.
Oh, cool. You can kind of see it there in the shadow there of the catwalk. Yeah, and so Emily, tell us a little bit about how the ocean sunfish or mola mola is trained to come over and grab some food. We mentioned that with the stingrays, the turtles, the sharks, but you know that mola mola, ocean sunfish, also a trained fish, which many people are surprised about when they come to the aquarium.
Exactly. You know, for an animal that supposedly has a brain the size of a walnut, you know, they get a bad rap that way, but they are smart enough to recognize an object, a target, we call it, that we'll put into the water. When they see that target, they've associated it with food, and so they'll swim over to that target, and they know that their food is going to be waiting for them, which is really handy when you have a lot of animals who have very specific diets. So for the pelagic stingrays and our hammerhead sharks, they're eating things like salmon and squid that we're hand feeding to them. But for that ocean sunfish, that mola mola, we've got some chopped up shrimp for it, and then we also have a vitamin sausage that we kind of prepare for it, that gelatin sausage, sometimes you'll hear it called, where we've blended up all these nutrients and then put them inside of a sausage casing, and so we can hand it to those mola molas directly when it comes over to its target.
Excellent. And yeah, we've got a lot of folks here very surprised that you can train a sunfish, but you can indeed. Want to say hello to the folks tuning in from Texas. Hey, Vanessa. We've got, Sarah will be here in 2 weeks on Facebook. We'll see you then. Judy wants to know, how many sharks do we have? Hold on. We've got some activity happening here. I'm going to transition us back. We've got a roiling mass there on the surface there, Emily. That is very exciting to see. Let's see what it looks like here. From the front of the exhibit, you can see that you've got that cloud there of the sardines there on the surface. Doesn't look like a whole lot right now on the webcam, but from up here, you can see that water boiling. Tell us a little bit about that, Emily.
So we've got one of our aquarists over here. He's taking big scoops of a small pellet that he's kind of sprinkling into the water for the sardines right now. So we have about 15,000 sardines here inside of the open sea exhibit. If you don't believe me, you can start counting right now and then get back to me with an accurate number. I'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
But what those sardines are doing, they're eating a lot differently than some of those big fast fish. They are filter feeders. So by tossing in those kind of tiny pellets, it's almost like a little fish kibble that we give to them. All they have to do to eat is just open their mouth wide, swim straight through the water, and it's like having a pasta strainer at the back of your mouth, Patrick.
Yeah, it's really pretty incredible. This boiling water there of that filter feeding school of sardines is something that the Monterey fishermen would have known back in the Cannery Row days out there. This would be what the Monterey Bay looked like, just filled to the brim with sardines, and folks taking those sardines into their boats and almost sinking them if they pulled in their entire net at the same time. So this boiling mass here of water, those are all the sardines there on the surface, something that the Monterey Bay has seen for a long time and attracted a lot of folks, including the folks that were here in the Sea Pride Cannery, which the open sea exhibit is nestled inside of that old Sea Pride Cannery. So again, as always here at the aquarium, we used to be a place that took these fish out, put them in the cans, and now you come and get to see them here. I'm going to transition us, hold on, back to the webcam. Oh no, looks like it dissipated. So just to show you what it looks like there on the webcam there in the front, you can see towards the top of the webcam there, that school of sardines. And then if I transition us back over here, you can see what that looks like up here. Awesome.
Patrick, you might have noticed, too,
Yes.
that the food that we're tossing in right now is a little bit different than what we started with for the sardines. So they started
Yes.
out getting that little fish kibble, that little pellet, and now we have some krill that we're tossing in for those sardines. The same kind of krill that the largest animals on Earth would be eating out there in the ocean.
Yeah, and we've actually seen a lot of activity, Emily, in the Monterey Bay right now with fin whales, blue whales up in the Santa Cruz area. So if you folks are interested in going whale watching, there's a lot of krill out there and a lot of animals that are here to feed on that. We want to go back here into the comments and just say hello to the folks tuning in from Arizona. We had a few folks on Twitch say that they counted 1,499, 3,458.2 sardines. So
Thank you.
Wondering where the point
yeah,
wondering where that went there on one of
That's
our.
a little disconcerting.
We've got Femto Phantom saying kibble hype there on Twitch.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Thanks, Paul.
Let's see. Who else do we have? We've got folks. Question for you, Emily. Why is it that the other animals are not eating and it's pretty cool right now on the webcam. You can see there the silhouettes of our guests. Emily, why do the sharks, etc., why are they not trying to eat the sardines right now? And we just saw it. We just saw exactly why.
Yeah, that's exactly the reason why the sharks aren't eating all the other fish in here is because you just saw us feeding everybody. So by keeping everybody really well fed, by feeding them often, by feeding them good food, by feeding them food that they don't really have to chase after, that's that energy budget there of I would rather go after something that's not moving and being handed to me versus trying to chase down one of those fast little sardines. We can make sure that the predation is really, really low here inside of the open sea exhibit. I do say low, though, not no. Every now and then, we'll notice that we go from 15,000 sardines to 14,999,
Yeah.
14,998.
Yeah.
But, because of the quality of care that our aquarists give to these animals, we can monitor their diets. We know about how much food they're going to eat every single day or every other day. And in the case of some of these big fish in here, where they're eating their meals every other day, similar to how out in the wild they wouldn't be eating every day. By making sure that they're at least offered food often, they're going to go after the food that we give to them versus trying to catch one of those sardines in here.
Absolutely. Let's see. Hello, Maryland. We have folks there tuning in from Facebook. Thanks, Maria, on Periscope. Love NBA. We love you too. Hope to see you again soon. We have someone on YouTube saying that their dad would love to dive into those sardines with his mouth wide open. Well, certainly that's something that, if you happen to be a humpback whale or a fin whale tuning in on the stream, certainly advisable to do so in the Monterey Bay right now. There's a couple of your buddies out there. Let's see. Folks from Kansas tuning in, North Yorkshire, UK. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. And we wanted to bring you, yes, we do feed the turtles separately there, RK. We actually have them outside currently grabbing some romaine lettuce and bell pepper from our folks over on the husbandry team. And those turtles are trained same as the sunfish. Let's see if I'm just going to transition us back here to the webcam. Same as the sunfish and the sharks and rays, they are trained fish, and that's really critical for us here at the aquarium. Make sure all of our animals are getting enough to eat and that they're not eating their roommates. That is why you just saw that feeding there. And hey, thanks for tuning in from Sweden, Jenny. Thanks. Hey, allihopa i Sverige. Hey, Sweden is there. Yeah, that's right, Ian. Thanks so much, folks, everyone, for tuning in. We wanted to share this open sea feeding with all of you folks here because it is the last week of National Seafood Month here. And of course, here at the Monterey Bay Aquarium, we are all about that sustainable seafood with the Seafood Watch program, which just celebrated 20 years this year, along with our 35th anniversary. And that sustainable seafood, Emily, is not only visible here in the open sea exhibit with the mahi-mahi, the sardines, the tuna. We got the mola-mola going by. Not exactly seafood for us humans, of course, but certainly seafood out there in the ocean for sea lions. Emily, tell us a little bit about sustainable seafood. What does that mean? What are we doing with sustainable seafood going forward here?
Yeah, so sustainable seafood is just a way to make sure that we can have our fish and to eat them too. We want to make sure that for the 70% of people around the world that rely on seafood as a main source of protein or as a livelihood, that we're able to support those communities and support the people who love eating seafood in a way that isn't going to be harmful to the environment, that isn't going to be harmful to those fish populations out there. So by monitoring populations, by using science-based information to kind of make those best choices when it comes to your seafood, we can make sure that we have fish in the ocean and fish on the menu at a restaurant or fish in your communities for many, many years to come.
Fantastic. Yeah, we know here at the aquarium that one of the only other places that you're likely to see a fish is on a menu out there, and fish is one of the most international commodities in the world, and so that seafood is something that comes to you from all around the planet and winds up on your dish. So even though you may not be even though you may be in Monterey, the seafood is not necessarily from there, and wherever you are around the world, it's traveling around. And so, not to worry, we've done the homework for you there with our Seafood Watch program, so that you know exactly what kind of delicious seafood exists out there. And we have been joined by a very special guest here topside of the Open Sea exhibit, because we have Anne, who is going to who's going to be on our video here. So let me just transition Anne over here, and I hope that we can hear her.
I hope so too.
Oh, we're gonna do an interview style. So hey, Anne, first of all, wave hi. You're live to everybody there. Thanks so much. You did such a great job there on the feeding. Tell us a little bit about what you were doing just now, feeding those animals. What was going on there?
All right. Well, we call this, you guys have probably already been explained earlier during the feed. I didn't get to hear any of that because I was busy flinging squid and sardines into the water.
We try not to make too many things up, but
yes.
Yeah, feel free.
But I kind of have a job there where we had to make sure that the mola got to his station, and then I can start tossing in the broadcast feed to all the faster swimming fish. So the mahis, the tunas, bonito, all those that can compete with amongst each other for the broadcast food. We feed the squid out first, and then make sure that that's all fed. It's kind of like a little more, they both are nutritionally, good. We do a mixture of both. But making sure they get their squid first, and then letting Michael know that when the squid's done, he can stop feeding the mola, so the mola doesn't break away and start eating the squid too, and then I can start feeding the sardines.
Awesome. And we've got folks, by the way, and tuning in from everywhere. We've got Kansas, Philadelphia, Yorkshire, UK. We got folks from Colorado. Everybody's saying thank you so much for your great work. Can you tell us how much time does it take to prep a feeding here for the open sea?
Probably, we got to chop each squid and rinse, or we got to chop the sardines and rinse the squid. It takes about half an hour to prep all of the food every morning, rinsing the krill for the sardines after. I've been doing it for many, many years, so I kind of got it down to a pretty efficient little routine in the food room before we feed.
Sounds good. And just one question that we often get over here: what is it like to be feeding seafood to what most of us know as seafood outside of the aquarium context? How do we bridge that gap between the aquarium, the animals that we have here, and then what we tend to see on a plate? It's National Seafood Month, so we wanted to show the food go to the animals. So how is that for you when you're working with the animals?
Well, fish gotta eat.
Yeah.
So I know those saying, birds gotta swim, or fish gotta swim, birds gotta eat. We all, birds swim too. I am okay with it. I am very grateful that we have awesome food room technicians here that actually, walk the talk with our Seafood Watch. Also, we make sure that all of our food that we feed our animals is top quality and also sustainably harvested. So we know that our fish in their time here as ambassadors for all of their counterparts in the ocean are getting the best food possible that they'd be eating in the wild also.
That's everyone's very grateful there. We have a question for you. How does someone get your job? They don't want to take your job right now from you, so don't worry, but okay. How do they get your job eventually? How do you get into this line of work?
It's my job is called an aquarist. We work in the husbandry division of the aquarium, so taking care of all the animals. Best thing to do, I started as an intern here. It's almost 17 years ago. I can't believe I've been here that long.
Wow.
But I did a lot of volunteering, my time working, in other smaller aquariums and institutions, up and down California, and then just, getting that experience. In husbandry, we look for a lot of experience. So whether it's home, aquarium, hobby, keeping, working, that, or just, even volunteering your time. A lot of our volunteers do end up getting hired because they've kind of, walked the talk. They've shown us that they've got that good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we want to be very respectful of your time. You've got many more animals to feed. Do you have any parting words for us? National Seafood Month, Open Sea. What do you need the folks to know? What do you think?
Keep on swimming.
Yeah, keep on swimming. Yeah, eat that sustainable seafood. Thank you so much.
We got our sardines there swimming too.
Yeah.
We try to fill up the mahi first before we let them go.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much,
Cool.
and
Thank
everyone's
you.
so
Thanks.
thankful.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Take care.
All right. Wonderful. Well, Emily, do you have any final words here for us here on the live stream? We're looking at the OpenSea live cam right now. We had folks tuning in from all around the world. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. We got Aiden, Jennifer Carroll. Thanks for being there on YouTube. We've got B-Ball Mom. Hello. Everybody tuning in from all around the world. Emily, parting words here for the OpenSea Feeding National Seafood Month. What do you think?
Yeah, so I think the important thing to, think about next time that you're thinking about maybe getting seafood at a restaurant, at a store, is just asking where that seafood has come from. When we, the consumers, have the power to make those big pushes, that choice to tell the industry where we want our fish to be coming from, it really makes a difference. So, for lots of fish out there in the ocean that might not be doing too well right now, kind of avoid those. For some that are doing really well out there in the ocean, that have really great, fisher people who are using the right practices and paying attention to the science and really working together in communities, we can make sure that the ocean has a healthy future to help sustain us all, both the animals in the ocean and us, land fish up here.
Exactly right. So, you heard it from Emily. And also, folks, if you just stay tuned here to Seafood Watch, Monterey Bay Aquarium, we'll let you know if there's ever any legislation that we need you to weigh in on for sustainable seafood. But, thanks so much, Emily. Great camera work over there. Fantastic. We're going to end the live stream right there, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Oh, it's perfect with the mola swimming across the screen.
It doesn't get more majestic than that.
No.
Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. We hope to see you again soon here at the Monterey Bay Aquarium. We hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, wherever you are around the world.
Thanks, everyone.